open your ears when I say this, because this is probably the most important thing. Hey everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a freshman guide to college. Freshman, transfer student, maybe you're transferring in as a sophomore, junior, senior, and you've never been to a 4-year university. I'm about to start my junior year next week. So I feel like I'm, what's the word I'm looking for? Certified to talk about this. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys some things that I wish I knew before I started college. My older sibling does not attend college, so these are things I kind of had to figure out on my own. You know, my parents tried giving me advice, but let's be real, they attended college in a whole different day and age, and this is no sugarcoating, no nothing. This is the real deal, the real tea, so please stay tuned. So first and foremost, I'm going to start with don't get sucked in. What I mean by don't get sucked in is more than 85% of the people that you meet between preview day and welcome week, they are putting on a facade so that they can make friends, so that they seem enjoyable, laughable, so that people like them, all these other sorts of things. So do not get sucked into these fake characteristics and this fake image that people try to sell you regarding themselves. Because let me tell you, I had a whole friend group, and I know many other people who had a whole friend group when school first started, but when spring semester came around and those masks started dropping, these friend groups were dropping like flies, and I'm literally living proof. So do not go into college thinking that everybody is your friend. You meet someone who's nice and sweet and funny, and you're like, oh, we're just gonna be best friends all throughout college, babes. That's not gonna happen in the slightest. So take everything that people say to you with a grain of salt the first couple days / weeks of college, because everybody's trying to seem likable so that they can get friends. Don't be telling each other's deepest, darkest secrets, because in reality, these people do not have your best interests. Number 2, I would definitely recommend you to choose your major wisely, because I know people who, for example, I had a friend who was my best friend. Last year, she wanted to change her major to nursing, but I don't know how it is at every other school. At my school specifically, if you want to be a nursing major, you have to be dedicated from when you walk in that door. So your freshman year, first day, you have to already have your mind set on becoming a nursing major before you sign up for classes and everything like that. Other majors, you can change your major your sophomore, junior, senior year. But in order to do that, you had to be committed from day one. So it was the middle of our sophomore year, and she was so upset because she couldn't do nursing, because she had only just found out when we came to college that she wanted to be a nursing major. So please do really think about in high school what you enjoy and correlate that to what you can make money from. Don't forget to think about your salary. Ultimately, at the end of college, you're going to be applying for jobs. Well, unless you go to graduate school, but some people decide to work and do graduate school all at the same time. But think of the salary. You could easily go on Google or go on LinkedIn and search for the starting salary of what your career would be. What is going to be the starting pay as soon as you graduate? Most people get stuck with majoring in something all their life, and then when they're like, okay, it's time to apply for jobs, they realize that job is not making a lot of money. And that was me. I wanted to become a therapist. I love talking to people. I love listening to their problems. I love helping people. But when I looked into what the starting salary would be, babes, it was not enough to support my lifestyle. That's when broadcast journalism became the road that I wanted to take on. And that's another thing. Look at things that you like to do and try to make money off of that. For example, I love to talk and I love to be in front of the camera. So I am now a communications major, specifically broadcast journalism, because I want to be a news anchor. I want to read the teleprompter. I want to talk to people. I want to be in front of the camera. So why not make money off of that? You do not want to be stuck with something that you dislike. And then most likely, if you change your major your sophomore or junior year, the required classes you need for your new major, you're not going to have in time. So you might need to do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I don't think you can do that many, but you might need to do a couple extra years. And that's just a lot on a person mentally. Not even that, you spent money on the classes before. Those classes are not cheap. You probably pay for a textbook or 2. You pay for school supplies. You pay for the class as a whole. So with that being said, don't just throw your money out the window. Like, heavily research the things that you could possibly be doing or that you're interested in. When you get into these classes, talk to people, talk to your professors, talk to your advisors, talk to even upperclassmen. Somebody, and it's so funny because God really works in mysterious but amazing ways. Somebody that I literally grew up in church with, Camilla, shout out to you if you're watching this, and we go to the same college, and she is, I think, going on her senior year now, and I'm going on my junior year, and she just had an amazing internship with Fox News. I reached out to her, asked her, like, how did she get the internship? What are some things that helped her get the internship? And she just gave me really, really good advice and things to strive for, professors to talk to, classes that I might want to look into, and it was just super helpful. So don't be afraid to not only ask professors and advisors and people who are there for you, but ask upperclassmen, even somebody who's in the same grade as you, who you've seen do something really dope on social media or in person. Don't be shy to ask them, and if they turn you down, it's okay. The worst they could say is no, but there's always somebody else that you could go to. So do not be afraid to put yourself out there and ask questions. It doesn't matter if somebody's getting annoyed. At the end of the day, you are only benefiting yourself. This leads to my third piece of advice. Create an amazing relationship with their professors and your advisors. Let me tell you guys, I have literally passed a class or two because let's say I was missing a couple homework assignments, I didn't do so good on tests, but let's say you're determined. You may not be doing the best letter-wise, but professors see that you're determined to do good, whether you're doing good or not. You could be coming to every office hour, you could be signing up for tutoring, they could see you actively asking your peers in class for help, you raise your hand a lot to participate in class, but you just don't have the best grade on paper. They will literally pass you and give you the grade that you didn't deserve, if that makes sense, just because they see that you're determined and they see that you're trying. It's happened to me so many times. Not saying I slack off, but you know, we all go through personal things in college. We're not going to just excel every class with flying colors, and if that's you, shout out to you, because it is very hard to do that. But I have passed a couple classes, because even if I didn't have the best grade on paper at that time, my professor saw that I was determined, I was participating in class, I would never miss an office hour, and they would give me the grade that I wanted and that I was striving for. So make a good relationship with your professors, because they teach so many students throughout the day, throughout the semester, throughout the weeks, throughout the years, and they're not obligated to remember your name or your face, but you want to make sure that they remember your name and your face, and that also makes for a good person to go to for letters of recommendation. You never know. You literally never know what you might need from a teacher. So definitely make a good impression on your teachers and your advisors, because when it's time to get those letters of rec, these are things that people will see and they'll hold their opinions very highly. So please make a good impression on these people, okay? I was gonna make this a whole separate piece of advice, but I'm just gonna tie this next one into the one I just did. These college professors do not care. So when you are in college, you are given so much freedom. You can walk out of class anytime you want. You can miss class for all they care. You could just walk to the bathroom. You don't have to raise your hand and ask a bunch of questions. You are given so much freedom in college. So we are paying between, I know ISU, let's be real, our tuition is pretty cheap compared to a lot of other schools. Some people are paying 50, 60, 70K just for a school year. You're paying between 15 to 30K. Even if you have scholarships and grants and you're only paying between 200 and a couple thousand, you're still paying. Whether you're paying or your parents are paying, the money is coming out of their pockets for you to succeed. So you don't want to be one of those people where you're paying for school but you have not been to a class and you're okay with the fact that you're failing. Your professors will not email you. Your professors will not email your parents. You are responsible for yourself. And don't, because I definitely made this mistake. I'm not proud of it at all. But do not get into the habit of missing class, because they really do say once you miss one class, you don't feel obligated to go for the rest of the semester. And you know what? That's exactly what happened to me. I wasn't trying to hear any of that. I was like, I can miss one class and you know, I'll be good to go the next day, the next week. I missed one class and rarely showed up for the rest of the semester. And I did not do so good in that class. I'm okay with admitting that because I've righted my wrongs. Do not fall into that cycle. You'll get to be feeling so okay with missing class. It's not okay to miss class. If you miss class, you will fail. Point blank, period. It's really, really, really hard to fail if you're not missing class. So go to that class. If it's 2 degrees outside and it's slippery, go to that class. I've learned my lesson, so will you. Do not fall into that trap. But my next piece of advice is open your ears when I say this, because this is probably the most important thing you will ever hear, the most important piece of advice that you will ever know. Do not get caught up with these boys. Wait, let me cook, because I know that's so cliche, but as someone that did not date in middle and high school, because I was just looking so forward to the things that I was seeing on TV. I'm not dating because I want to get me a college boy. College boys is college boys that. These college boys are the same, if not worse, than these high school and middle schoolers. I promise you. I promise you. Especially as a young person, do not get caught up in talking to someone that is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years younger than you. In some cases, it's okay. I'm not a person that's against big age gaps. But think of it like this. If you are the right age of 18 or 19 and you have a 23, 24, 25, 26, 27-year-old man, matter of fact, the man that's pushing 30 or maybe even over 30, ask yourself 2 questions. 1, why isn't he in a relationship now? Why isn't he talking to somebody that is close to his age now? And 2, what do you think you as a young person who's just starting college can do for a grown man that's either about to graduate or has graduated already or has been graduated? Absolutely nothing. Do not get caught up in these college boys with these college boys, please. If I would have known this, I would have avoided so many sticky situations. But trust me, ladies, I get why it could be easy. I'm not going to sit here and say you have no reason to da-da-da. I get why it could be easy. Trust and believe from the bottom of my heart. I get it. It's okay to dibble dabble in it for sure, but know the type of person you are. If you know you can't dibble dabble without fully immersing yourself, just stay away. But if you can dibble dabble, have a little fun, and know when it's time to back up and be like, okay, let me do some homework, let me focus on my studies, or let me completely leave this man alone, that is okay as well. You're going to be curious. Just don't be too curious, if you know what I mean. My second to last tip is learn to be independent. When you are in college, obviously there are things that you are, well, a lot of things that you are going to have to do on your own. I get it. I was the person where like walking across campus by myself was scary. Even last year, I'm 2 years in, and sometimes I'm still like, do I really want to go all the way there to study? Like, I just don't want to be seen by myself. Get that out your system. Nobody's even worried about you. We all got our own stuff going on. Think about this. Think of a time where you ever seen somebody walking across campus by themselves or eating by themselves. Were you like, oh my God, they're walking across campus alone. Oh my God, they're eating alone. Like, no, you went about your business because you were focused on yourself. That's how everybody else is. Everybody else has their own stuff going on. I guarantee when they see you, they're not thinking about you in the slightest way, the slightest bit. I feel like the best way to do that is by just throwing yourself into the fire, putting yourself in those uncomfortable situations. I started slowly. I started going to the dining hall at around like 9 in the morning, sitting down, eating by myself, testing out the vibe, and I actually ended up really liking it. I tried walking to different stores on my own, taking the bus on my own, the bus out in the town and the bus on my campus. Like, once you do it for the first time, the nerves trickle away. They just trickle right on out your system. So my last and final piece of advice is to get involved on your campus. This can just open up so many doors, bring in new friendships. Like, I feel like it's the best thing. I am now a part of 3 different organizations on my campus, and honestly, I love them. Now, I'm not saying overwhelm the hell out of yourself. No, don't do that. Do things that resonate with you and that you know you would enjoy. And if there's an organization on campus and you're like, wow, I really like them, I respect the people in the org, I really like what they stand for, put yourself out there. How I got my positions was I just DM'd the president or the vice president or anyone that I personally knew that was on the e-board, or even if I didn't know them, and I just introduced myself, you know, told them a little bit about me, of course my name and my major and maybe even my year, and then asked if they were looking for somebody for their e-board. It literally doesn't hurt. The worst they can say is no, and then you just go on to the next. Put yourself out there. Do not be scared to put yourself out there, and do get involved. Now, I don't know, I would recommend not doing so much of that your freshman year, because your freshman year you want to dedicate to your classes. You don't know how college is going to be. You just want to see how the year is going to go for you, how the semester is going to go for you. Mostly the year though, because 9 times out of 10 you can't join the org halfway into the year. So you want to see how the year is going to go for you, and then from there, if you're like, oh, next year I can definitely juggle this, that's when you do it. I would definitely say just wait for after that first year and then try to get as involved on your campus as you can. I just really love being involved, honestly, and the year hasn't even started, but we've been doing so much over the summer for preparation, and I'm excited for the year to come. That is all for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoy. I kind of want to do a part 2 because there are a lot of things I didn't discuss, but I didn't want this video to be way too long. I might create a part 2, and yeah, definitely just be on the lookout for that. I love you guys so much. I hope this video was enjoyable. I hope you took away a thing or two from it. Yeah, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on the post notifications, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.